Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tilly, and you may remember me saying that I'm a mood reader, so I don't tend to set myself TBRs. Well, it turns out for January I do kind of have a TBR, so I thought I would share that with you. So I've mentioned a couple of times on my channel that I will be participating in the Schwabalong. As I said, I read A Darker Shade of Magic fairly recently, so that means I will be joining the readathon with A Gathering of Shadows. Now this might not technically be in my January TBR because I want to see if I can get to it before the end of December, but if I don't, I'll be reading this in early January as the live show is normally about mid-month. This means I also need to get to A Conjuring of Light either during January or early February, so this is on my TBR as well. I really adored A Darker Shade of Magic, so I'm really excited to see what's in store for the rest of the series. I can't tell you too much about the synopsis of these as they are book 2 and 3 in a series, but book 1 follows Kel, who is able to transport between different worlds, and these worlds are named after different versions of London. I wasn't quite sure how else to explain it, so I've bought the first book to read the synopsis for you guys. Kel is one of the last travellers, magicians with a rare ability to travel between parallel universes connected by one magical city. There's Grey London, without magic and ruled by the Mad King George III. Red London, where magic is revered and where Kel was raised along the heir to the Empire. White London, where people fight to control the remaining magic and the magic fights back. But once there was Black London. So yeah, I think that gives you a little hint as to what A Darker Shade of Magic is about. I would say it's more than that, and I absolutely love the characters within this series. I think the characters as well as the world building is why I loved this book so much. So again, I'm really excited to see how that develops in the second 2 books. As I mentioned before, I'd also like to participate in the ByTheAngelAlong, and I plan to join everyone reading The Dark Artifices, starting with Lady Midnight in January. So The Dark Artifices follows Emma, who was mentioned in the last Mortal Instruments book, and her parabatai Julian. However, it's forbidden for parabais to fall in love, and you can kind of guess what happens off the back of that. There are also some murders that Emma's investigating, as well as links to the world of the Fae. According to the synopsis, parabatai was more than friendship, more than family, it was a bond that tied you together fiercely. In a secret world where half-angel warriors are sworn to fight battle, parabatai are partners in battle, best friends. Parabatai can be everything to each other, but they can never fall in love. Emma Carstairs is a warrior, a shadowhunter. Alongside her parabatai Julian Blackthorn, she patrols Los Angeles, where vampires party and fairies, the most powerful supernatural creatures, teeter on the edge of war with the Shadowhunters. When bodies of humans and fairies were found murdered in the same way Emma's parents were when she was a child, an uneasy alliance is formed. They must solve the murders before the murderer targets them. Each clue Emma unravels uncovers more secrets. What has Julian been hiding from her all these years? Why does Shadowhunter law forbid parabatai to fall in love? Who really killed her parents, and can she bear to know the truth? So this is actually a reread, but it's been such a long time that I read this series, I can't wait to delve back into it. I'm also participating in the Percy Jackson read-along that we're doing as part of Rose Patreon. I read Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief, that will be in my December wrap-up, so during January I need to read the next book in that series, which is The Sea of Monsters. I have read the films that are based off the first 2 books, but when I read the first one I couldn't believe how different it is and how much they cut out of the movies. I'm really excited to read the second book and find out what happens next and find out how different it is from the movie. I'm sure a lot of you are aware of what the Percy Jackson series is, but just in case you're not, Percy Jackson follows the story of a young boy who finds out that he is a descendant of one of the Greek gods, meaning that he is a half-blood and there are lots of monsters that are after him. That's such a snippet as to what the book is actually about without giving you any spoilers, but I love the characters within this series already, and it's definitely something I'm going to be talking about in my December wrap-up. Next on my list is, of course, Priory of the Orange Tree. Again, I've mentioned in a couple of videos that I'm desperate to read Priory of the Orange Tree, and I think January is going to be the month that I do it. It is a massive book at just under 900 pages, but January always seems to be a good reading month for me, so I feel like that's the best time to do it. I have just bought it on my Kindle because I thought that would be the easiest way to read it rather than reading the chunky hardback. Also in January is the start of Spoops or Spoopy Hole's Patreon Pac-Man quests. I don't know what the prompts for January are just yet, but I'm hoping one of the books I've already mentioned will fit within it. Talking of which, I also want to complete Gerbitathon this year, which is the Sims readathon that's been created by Hannah at Ladder M, and so that means I'm starting as a baby and I need to complete 3 skills in order to age up. So I think 2 of the prompts or skills will fit into the books I'm already reading in January. So firstly we've got the fun need, which is to read a middle grade fantasy, so of course Percy Jackson and the Sea of Monsters will fit within that prompt. We also have the comfort need, which is to read a book with LGBT+ themes, and as far as I'm aware A Gathering of Shadows and A Conjuring of Light fit within that prompt. So that means I need to complete 1 more need in order to be able to age up, so please let me know if I've missed anything and if any of the books I'm planning to read fit any of these prompts. So we've got Hunger, which is to read a middle grade ghost story. The social need need, which is to read a book by an author that is a person of colour. The bladder need, which is to read a book that has a mystery in the title. The hygiene need, to read a book with Norse mythology. The energy need, which is to read a book set in space. And lastly, the environment need, which is to read a book with birds on the cover. So there you have it, an accidental January TBR. What books are you planning to read during January? I'd love to know. Please let me know down in the comments. If you like this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to see more of my content. Thanks for watching. Bye!